What is up, guys? We are back. It's your boy Effie with Any Action Sportscast here with a special guest from the Stranglers and Anglers podcast, a homie of mine that I've actually burned it down with, smoked with, gone to UFC fights with, the homie JJ, man. Thanks for coming through. What's up, bro?
Dude, not a whole lot. Thanks for having me. It's good to talk some fights with you, man. Yeah, we've had some good times watching fights and talking fights, dude. Head Kick City in Salt Lake. So, another banger pay-per-view now. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. And it's actually crazy. We weren't there together for the Usman one, but you were there, and so was I. And then we ended up going together for the Poirier Gaethje one. And Head Kick City, man. I don't know what it is about me and you, but when we go to Salt Lake, people get head kicked, dude. It's crazy.
Straight up, and we win our bets on them too. So that's
Yeah.
what's good.
Yeah, how sick was that Kopylov head kick, bro? That was insane how loud it was in that arena. I always think about that every time he fights. I'm like, dude, that head kick was so loud.
Same, dude. I was like in the beer line, kind of what like just it was a huge line, so we're just watching at the top there. And I mean, for the people that weren't watching, when that kick happened, everyone turned around from the beer line instantly. Like the people pouring the beer were looking like it was one of the loudest kicks I've ever heard.
Yeah, it sounded like a gunshot. It was crazy.
Yeah, man.
But dude, we have UFC 299 on Saturday tomorrow. Everyone's made weight. Everyone's still on the card. No fights have gotten canceled. We've had our face-offs, the press conference, and now it's just time to fight. So I need your help, man. I'm having a terrible gambling year. I'm down 14 units, $560 in the hole. And I need to get out of it. So I was like, you know what, man? I need to do something. I need some help. I'm bringing on a guest. And who else other than JJ from Stranglers and Anglers? So yeah, man. I don't know if I think we were talking before the show. You also have some bets so far. I have zero, and I'm actually hoping you could talk me into some bets tonight. So yeah, let's get right to the very first fight. I'll lead the first one off. Super
Go, man.
happy. Super happy. It's the first fight of the night. Uh, we got a women's fight. Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. The line is Moroz minus 225, Calderwood plus 190. I actually think that line is actually a little bit wide. I think that Moroz has a lot of, submission offense upside in this fight. But as far as on the feet, I don't think that she's that big of a favorite. I can see this fight being relatively close, but one thing I don't like is Calderwood talking about retirement. I mean, she's bona fide said this is it, win or lose. Like she's out. She's getting up there in age, man. She's like, almost 40 years old. And I feel like when she retires, she's going to help Coach Wood, over there at Syndicate and make money doing that. So I'm not sure where her motivation is. This is a rematch. We all saw Moroz get that sub off her back, but her takedown offense, dude, like that's what it comes down to. Like her ability to get the fight down isn't that good, especially in the open mat, man. She's going to be having to use those clinch, trip takedowns and throws. So I don't know, man. Minus 225. I do think she wins. And I actually think that she can get a sub late. I'm going round 3, sub or decision, but I'm going with Rose, but so far I don't have any money on it. You got any action?
Yeah, I'm with you with kind of how you're seeing that. Like I think Moreau should be the favorite, but at the same time, I think this line is probably a little wide. Like you said, the retirement angle is kind of an instant just stay away for me. I will say what to what you're saying about Moreau's her takedown offense. I think you're right. I don't think it's that great, and I think that if Wood is stuffing some of these takedowns and keeping it in the clinch. Like Wood does really good work in the clinch. So that's something that I could see her trying to spend a lot of time in this fight. At the same time, when you're her age and already talking about retirement, I think you got a foot out the door. It's hard to know just how stoked she's going to be in there if she's just looking for an easy paycheck. So it's a pass for me too.
She's actually gotten kind of screwed in some of her fights where I thought she won. Just one of those fighters that tends to fight really close and can't really pull away on the card. So, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a pass for me. But super happy that's the first fight of the card because they only get better from there.
Yeah.
Up next we have CJ Vergara taking on Asu Almabayev. The line currently sits Almabayev, the biggest favorite on the card, actually minus 550, and Vergara plus 400. Kind of surprised at that line next to his name, but I'll let you go first on this one. What do you got for this fight?
Yeah, man, I've been looking at this one all week, and I kind of wanted to wait till today to see what they looked like at the face-offs, just because I thought that there's a chance that Amabayev might look really small here because he's just seemed like he looked small in a lot of his regional fights and stuff. But I mean, him and Vergara were pretty similar in size. That was really the only kind of angle I was looking at to get the edge on Vergara. I think he's probably going to get control time here or submitted. Amabayev, his game plan, he's going to throw some powerful shots standing, but he's looking to get the fight to the ground. And specifically, like, he does like his best work from taking people's backs. We've seen CJ get controlled on the ground. At the same time, the reason I was looking at that, the thought process of CJ being a lot bigger here was just thinking that, CJ's scrappy and is like scrambly off his back. Like, he works to get up. And I just thought that maybe over the course of the fight, Amabaya would slow down, get a little tired if, he's trying to keep this big body down that's giving him problems. But, they look similar size. It's a pass for me here. I think Amabayev wins, but I don't know how you could like even be confident parlaying him at this price,
And that's kind of a crazy point you brought, because didn't he miss weight? Well, Vergara missed weight by 4 pounds, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much it ended up being, but he did miss.
Dang, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I see it the same way. For me, the big thing with Vergara is he does give up his back. Like, to get up, he gives up his back. It's kind of crazy. He'll post and then put all fours on the ground. It's like, dude, you do that against this guy, you're going to get those hooks put in. So
Yeah.
I think he does give up his back, and I think he gets subbed round 2. He's been to sub weight. Like, we've seen him sub before in the UFC, but on the feet, I mean, he's not like a bum. I said it on my video this week. Like, I don't view Vergara as like bottom tier, getting cut soon or anything like that. But yeah, man, missing weight already, that's a tough look. Yeah, I'm going with Amabayev, the huge favorite. I don't know if I'm going to parlay him, but yeah, I think he gets that sub in the second round.
Yeah, I like that pick too. I'm going to go with Amabayev by sub as well.
Nice. Yeah, moving right along. This one's probably going to be the quickest one we talk about. Unless you have like a crazy hot take, I'll be surprised. Yeah. But we have the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's not even his nickname. That's just what I'm going to call him. Robelis Despaigne taking on Josh Parisian. Despaigne comes in as a massive -375 favorite, plus 300 on Parisian, the comeback. And yeah, man, obvious to say here, the Taekwondo, silver, what is it, bronze medalist here from Cuba, 8 feet tall with a 95-inch reach. I mean, he's like 6'7" with an 81 or something crazy. But this guy is like long, man. This guy is super long, can reach you at any second in the fight. And all of his fights are like 35 seconds long. So, it's kind of crazy how he's putting these Uber drivers away, man. And on the other side, dude, Josh Parisian, I'm shocked he's still in the UFC. This guy is a bum.
Yeah.
I'll say this guy is a bum. He can't. It's funny. I was gonna say he can't wrestle, but he probably actually has the grappling advantage in this fight due to the fact that I've never really seen Despaigne have to, to wrestle. So I'm definitely worried about that. It's a lot of red flags to be, not red flags, but a lot of like questions you don't know the answers to if you're gonna lay that juice. But to me, ultimately, this comes down to Parisian's going to have to close the distance. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think he gets sparked. I think he gets absolutely knocked out viciously. But if he doesn't, bro, this could get super funny for like people who have all these parlays, all these props and stuff. But I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think you're kind of reaching if you think that's going to happen. But I don't know. Yeah, give me the Cuban Missile Crisis knockout round 1. Casual take.
No, man. I mean, if you're going to bet Parisian or anything on this fight, it feels like bet him round 2 or round 3. Cause like you said, we don't really know anything about this dude after that first round. But I mean, dude, how do you bet against fucking Cuban Ivan Drago here? I mean, yeah. I want this dude to win. I don't want to put my money on Parisian. At the same time, yeah, he's not worth parlaying in my opinion at -370, just because this could turn into just, one of the sloppiest, grossest round 2, round 3s you could ever dream up if it does get that far. So
that would be a nightmare, like a terrible debut to go round 3 with Parisian, God.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought he was gonna get cut after that Dontel Mays fight. Like, god dang, dude, you're getting humped in the face.
Yeah, and that's kind of what makes you feel like they're just using him here, right? Like, it just, they obviously want this giant to win.
It reminds me of Jalton Almeida. I forget who. I want to say not Chase Sherman or Porter. I get them all mixed up, those fat, sloppy heavyweights. But a dude got his job back just to fucking get sacrificed to Jalton Almeida.
Yeah, Parker Porter, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, nice.
So this is kind of what is happening. He's getting that last check. Sure. So maybe he gets a thank you fight after, but like for doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that should be an absolute murder. But yeah, I'll let you go next on this next one. We have Michelle Pereira taking on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Pereira comes in at -144, Oleksiejczuk +125. What do you have on this fight?
Yeah, dude, we were kind of talking earlier. This is really when the card starts to pick up, right? This should be a exciting fight. Pereira looks good at 185. Is probably going to come out like a bat out of hell in round one. Very possible he lands some big fight ending thing early. I don't know what it is. He throws a lot of different wild shit. So could be a kick, could be, spinning back something, whatever. At the same time, like Oleg Zajac, man, he's good and he's pretty tough. And right, like he used to fight at like a light heavyweight,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
he's coming down, whereas Pereira used to be at 170 and he's coming up to 185. Now I think that down the stretch, like I don't know, I kind of expect Oleg Zajac to look better and going in round two, round three as this fight progresses. Like if he doesn't get nuked early, we know Pereira kind of gasses out, and Michelle just being the I'm sorry, Oleg Zajac just being the naturally kind of bigger guy. It feels like I know Pereira is jacked, but it's like I don't know. This dude was fighting a different size of competition completely than the 170ers. So I don't know. It's I got no play on this or anything, but I kind of lean towards the underdog here.
Yeah,
How about
dude.
you?
No, you said something in particular that I completely agree with, and I see it the same. I expect Oleksiejczyk to look good in that second and third round. Um, we've seen Pereira, show low fight IQ, doing crazy flashy stuff. Even the walk to the octagon, we don't know if this guy's gonna be doing like a lot of crazy stuff. But
Yeah,
like you said about the size, dude, I say every time Michelle fights Pereira, that is, and it's one of those fights like how they both have the same name. But it's kind of so weird, but dude, he's huge. Like he is huge. I was shocked he was making 170, dude. Like he would be every time in the gym, just on the treadmill. Like I never saw him lifting weights. I always saw him just running and trying to sweat. So I was like, this guy's definitely worried about his weight all the time. Then he misses weight against Wonder Boy, goes up. But I'm excited for him in the new weight class. But I gotta go with Oleg Jacek here. I think he's a crisper striker with better boxing and a lot of forward pressure. I think that gets to Pereira in that second and third round. And if Pereira doesn't finish, Oleg Jacek, I think he's gonna lose a decision here. I think the first round probably goes to Pereira at a high clip. And then, like you said, man, I expect Oleg Jacek to come on strong. And I wouldn't be shocked if he finishes Pereira in that third round. He has really good body work. And, like, there's no real defense for a good liver shot, dude. If you get hit in the right spot, like, you're going down no matter who you are. So this should be a banger, dude. Like, I'm super excited to see where these guys are going. Kind
yeah,
of
dude.
crazy.
Sorry, I didn't. I was
Okay.
especially a dude like Pereira there, who's prone to gassing out. Like those body shots pay so much dividends.
Yeah, dude, and the grappling, I don't really foresee him using. I think that'll get himself tired. Like, he's gonna give Oleksiejczyk the fight he wants, in my opinion. So maybe that's something I'll play. I know the line is getting shorter. Money's coming in on Oleksiejczyk a little bit here throughout the week, so I probably should hop on that soon. But yeah, man, I'm going with Oleksiejczyk. I really like the body work, the boxing, and the forward pressure here. So that's gonna be a really good fight. Maybe I'll play a total there, but fight starts round 3, something like that. But yeah, man, we got the same pick. We're going with the underdog. First
Yeah, heck
underdog.
yeah. He's plus 130 on MGM right now. You can still get him. I honestly might add a little bit on there too.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a bad look in my opinion, honestly. Um, yeah, this next fight though, we were talking about the card structure and how the fights are placed. This is perfect, man. Kind of a slow start to begin the card, then it picks up, and then this is a perfect smoke break fight. Go ahead and walk your dog. And for all you know, this might last
Yeah,
like
dude.
45 seconds. This might be quick, or it might be a 15-minute. Like by the time it's in the 15th minute, they're sloppy and dead and have no cardio. We have Ion Cutelaba taking on Philip Lins. Cutelaba has actually been pushed to the favorite here, minus 120, plus 100 on Lins. I'll go first here. Yeah, Ion Cutelaba, it comes down to him having, 3.5, 4 minutes of gas. He's going to look good, honestly, in the beginning of the fight. It's just that if it gets extended, if he can't finish Lins early in this fight, I think he's going to gas out bad. No real reason for me to get involved in this fight. You can't be confident. I don't care who you are in either of these guys. Like, if you have money on this fight on the money line, I'll be shocked either way how you can feel calm or that's a sweat. Like, you're a gambler. Like, if you're betting that, like you're straight up, your heart's gonna be racing when that fight
Yeah.
starts. So as far as skill set though, I mean, it's tough because Lins has looked good before. Like, I like his striking; he's pretty crisp. But so is Cutelaba. Like, Cutelaba is not bad for a little bit. Like the beginning of that round, like he's gonna be good. But it's just as it goes, man. He gets sloppy, gets taken down. No takedown defense, no striking defense. His guard goes down, and he's there to
Yeah.
be hit. So I could see either guy finishing this fight. I'm gonna go with Lins, so technically another underdog for me. But he's also like 1,000 years old, so I don't know, man. No USADA anymore. And he's been caught with steroids before, so hopefully he's back on the juice. I saw Ian Cutelaba painting himself green again, so maybe that will help him. So
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'm gonna have to pass, but I'm actually picking the underdog Lins in this fight. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't blame you for picking Lance. Like it feels pretty appropriately priced, you know what I mean? Both guys are probably probably gonna be juiced to the gills now. Lynn's is probably gonna look a lot bigger come fight night. And I imagine if Kutalaba doesn't get him out of there early, Lynn's is probably just gonna try to cage push the entire fight. And I'm hoping that with a crowd there, maybe they boo that and separate them. But yeah, I mean, it's just a greasy matchup, dude. Kutalaba, like the skills are there, but it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. He feels a lot older than 30 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot. It feels like he's been into a lot of fights and a lot of wars. But yeah, like you said, can't be super comfortable either side. I'm gonna pick Kutalaba here to get it done, just with some violence early. But yeah, it just gross fight, like you said, perfect time to go let the dog out and roll up a J. So
Yeah, and then like Kutalaba round 1, like that's his best win like condition. I feel like that's when he's gonna be obviously the best in the fight. That's not a crazy bet in my opinion. If you were like a long shot better, if you like to sprinkle in like $10, $5, $20 on bets, like that's not crazy. Like that's probably his most likely path. And if he wins, I think he does win inside the distance. I don't see him winning a decision in this fight, but yeah, man, a perfect fight to go walk your dog and come back and then get back to the fight.
yeah, dude. The other thing with Kutalaba too is he's just kind of a bonehead sometimes. Like you said, like he looks really good at times, and then he just does stupid things or makes bad grappling decisions, and gets caught in precarious positions. It's just hard, dude, to put your money behind now.
Yeah, he'll rock people and then go for takedowns. Like
Yeah,
super low IQ, dude.
and then somehow end up giving up his back or getting his neck stuck somewhere it shouldn't. He just just at the favorite. Don't want to bet a guy like that.
Like, like how are you gonna fake getting hurt and then actually get hurt? Like that's crazy. Like
Yeah,
against Magomed, like dude, that's crazy. And then he got finished again. That was awesome. I was so happy when he got knocked out again. I was like,
Me
get this
too.
fucking guy out of here, dude. Like, get out of here,
Redemption
clown.
or not even redemption, just putting the point exclamation point on that series.
But yeah, man. Yeah. So we're on opposite sides on that one. But up next, another live underdog. I'll be honest. Yeah, man, this is a tough one. We have Pedro Munoz taking on Kyler Phillips. Munoz plus 175, Phillips minus 200. A little bit higher in other books. I'm seeing minus 220, minus 230 on some books. So it's getting a little bit wide. I'm going with Phillips in this fight, but it's just I can't see him not losing that third round. Like I'm almost positive he's going to lose that third round, and he's definitely not going to finish Pedro. Pedro's super, super durable. If he does get finished, man, that would suck. Like how are you going to fight all these killers and then get finished by Kyler Phillips? Like that would be terrible. But as far as the skill set, man, like I think the long ranging distance from Kyler Phillips obviously will help him in this fight. He has a really good lateral movement. I had money on Barcelos in his last fight, so I faded him. I thought Barcelos was looking good toward the end of that fight, man. But definitely Phillips came out strong, looked good. And another guy that's gotten caught by USADA before, and so now they're gone. So I'm wondering how he will look. So,
sure.
Munoz to me though, he's just on the tail end of his career. He's up there in age, and I don't know like how much motivation he really has. Where Kyler Phillips, a younger guy, probably ascending more so in the division. But man, Pedro Munoz is finding higher level guys, more competition or high level competition, more experience. There's a lot to like about Pedro Munoz in this fight. He's not going to really jab Kyler Phillips' face off, in my opinion. I think he's going to be slamming those leg kicks. But I think Kyler Phillips gets ahead on the points. Round 1 goes to Phillips. Round 2 is going to be close. And then I think Pedro takes round 3. So round 2 is going to be the swing round for me. I'm going Kyler Phillips decision.
Yeah, dude. I kind of see it similarly. It feels like, even maybe like 2 years, 3, 4 years ago, this would be a no-brainer bet on the Munoz side, but he's just slowing down. Kyler's in a good camp. He's explosive, he's well-rounded. And Pedro just he doesn't throw enough volume for me to want to bet him anymore. I feel like I've just been burned on him at different points. I thought that Vera fight, I thought it was pretty close, and I kind of thought it was Pedro's for the taking. He kind of just stopped throwing. But yeah, it's I'm not really interested in getting involved in this fight at all. You know, the round 3 is a interesting look, like you said, because we know Phillips like tends to slow down. I don't trust Pedro to have like any like killer instinct anymore, or like finishing instinct, really. Unless like Kyler is panic shooting, he's so gassed and sticks his head in a nasty position. Like Pedro's got good jujitsu,
Yep.
good subs, but I don't know. I don't really see it going down like that.
And that's another thing. Like, I do think Kyler Phillips will be able to get him down, but I'm worried that it's gonna get him tired quicker. Like, I don't know. Like, I do think the grappling edge does go to Phillips. But yeah, that's that gas tank, man. It's hard, like you said, it's hard to back guy like that, put your money on him. So
Yeah. Yeah, and he seems like, good camp and stuff. I'm pretty sure he's like, he's fighting with Tim Welch and like Sugar Sean and stuff. It makes sense why they're on this card. But I don't know. I've never like really watched like a Kyler Phillips fight and been like super impressed by his game plan or anything like that. He does some kind of bonehead things too at times. So yeah, I don't know. It's stay away, and I'm gonna be rooting for Pedro. Honestly, like, how can you not root for Pedro? The dude's fought like such a killer's row of competition. Dude will fight anybody. Yeah, that's all I got
dude,
for this one.
that Cheeto fight was way closer than I remembered. Like, I remember thinking like, oh well, yeah, definitely Cheeto won. But then I watched it again. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is actually
Yeah,
really close. Like, damn.
I had to
That's
turn
only
my
one fight
volume off
removed.
for that fight because I thought the commentary was so biased, and I had a bet
Yeah,
on Munoz.
yeah.
I was like, I cannot listen to this shit right now. Like, I need to
Dude,
just
isn't
take
that crazy?
Proudness.
Isn't that crazy? Like how they could be so one sided. Like Dan Hardy was fucking sucking off this one dude in PFL yesterday. Like that shit was crazy. Like he could blink and be like, dude, did you see how he blinked? Like what head movement? Blah blah blah. I'm like, damn, dude, chill out.
Yeah, that dude got stopped by the Splinter too. That was the dude, Dombey. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. Which is crazy,
yeah,
dude. How wild is that? Imagine if that happened in the UFC. Hell, fucking no.
crazy. Yeah,
Well,
it's only in PFL, only in Bellator, whatever they are now. It's gonna be twice as much fuckery happening now that they combined.
yeah, dude, that should be interesting. And their boy Francis just got absolutely slept, dude. That was
Dude,
insane. Right before we started this, Francis Ngannou got knocked the fuck out. So
I thought he
that,
I thought he was dead.
that was crazy, man. The second one is bad, but the one that's going viral is obviously the last one. And that one, his like hand just like, oh my god, dude, that was terrible.
Yeah, his knee did the Cain Velasquez too. It looked like where it just totally gave out. Like what he did to Cain Velasquez like happened to him in this fight.
That's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point. Well, I'll let you go first on this next one. We have Matuis Gamrot taking on RDA. Gamrot, dude, huge favorite, minus 415. I'm seeing minus 450 at some books. God damn. That's a pretty big gap. Plus 345 on the comeback for RDA. Yeah, I'll let you go first, man.
yeah, dude. This is an awesome fight. The matchmaking is a little weird, but the more I think about it, the more I just think that it's kind of like a thank you fight from the UFC because they had Gamrot go out to Abu Dhabi to be the backup for Islam versus Charles, and then Charles pulled out, and they went with Volkanovski instead of Gamrot. It's like so he got a pretty shitty deal out of that, I thought.
Yeah.
So this kind of feels like they're like, okay, well, here's like a easy win. You could stay in the title contention, and you can put on your resume now having a win over a former champion, so that's the way I'm looking at it. With that being said, like being at minus 500 or whatever he's at now, I think is pretty crazy. Like I wouldn't touch that in a parlay at that price. On our podcast, Stranglers and Anglers, these last like month and a half, 2 months, I've been talking about how I've been just progressively parlaying Gamrot to different fights and fighters. So I have him locked up right now as like 6.5 units, like an average price of like plus 109, which is pretty sweet, So like I hedged a little bit with RDA to just put a little bit of that pressure off.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as like the actual stylistic matchup, it's like we know that RDA does his best work against guys that he can grapple efficiently, and Gamrot, I don't think he's going to be held down or maybe even taken down really by RDA. Gamrot is so good on the mat and so good at scrambling. I don't see, like, maybe RDA has some success stuff in the takedowns early, but we know that RDA, if you keep pushing the pace, you're gonna get him down if you want to. Yeah, man. I put, RDA is a hard dude to finish, tough, but he's like 39 years old now and cutting back down to 155. Like this dude's organs must be fucking screaming for help. I mean, I don't know how he keeps doing it, honestly, because he looked drawn out doing it like 10 years ago. It's crazy to think about now. So yeah, I think Gamrot is the side. Early on here, like at that like 218 to minus 300 range. But yeah, I played +3. Maybe RDA gets really tired. I'm sorry, round 3. Props on Gamrot too, just because, like I said, that weight cut, we just don't know how it's gonna affect RDA anymore. So I could see him getting real tired. Gamrot's a big body too for 155. He's huge. So yeah, man, I like Gamrot here, but minus 500 definitely seems pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. I say all the time, dude. At minus 500, you gotta like pretty much kill the other person to like cover that for me. Like
Yeah.
he should win this fight. Don't get me wrong. I think he's gonna out grapple RDA 100%. But if he gets stuffed, man, if he starts to have some resistance on the takedowns, he can get pretty one dimensional. But I just think the speed is just so insane, dude. He dives on those single legs so fast. And if you can't keep up in the grappling exchanges with him, like you're just gonna lose the fight. There's no way around it. 3 rounds. I think it goes to him. I really like the third round angle you had. I would probably go with obviously a sub. He's gonna do a lot of wall pushing there, but I think that he will be able to get RDA down. And dude, RDA, like you said, that's the big thing for me. He's going up and down and up and down. Like he hasn't fought forever at 155. I had that Fiziev read perfect. Everyone was talking about how RDA's fought all these people and he's so durable. I was like, but no, dude, like it's his time. He's old as fuck. And Fiziev's a beast. Gets finished. Luque goes in there and takes him down like 9 times. Obviously at 170, but still. Now he's going back down, and now he's like even older. So I think he's gonna lose, get out of the rankings, and like you said, a pretty favorable matchmaking here for Gamrot. And I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Angle. Well, that's a good point. He got fucked in that
Yeah.
and then for Volk just to get knocked out like that, that's kind of fucked. That's crazy. Like damn.
Gamrot versus Islam's an awesome fight. That's a crazy one to think about. But yeah, one last like narrative angle too, I'll say with Gamrot is that it feels like the UFC views him as like a champion because they've put him in 5-round fights, main events before, against Armin, against Fiziev. So they, it just feels like they want this dude to win and get to those positions where he's fighting 5-rounders because his skill set is pretty tough to deal with over 5 rounds. Could definitely see him being a champ one day. It's just, I guess he's not super young. He's 33, but I mean, he looks in great shape and he hasn't really been slowing down at all. Yeah. And the round 3 prop that I played was just Gamrot round 3. I got it plus 1,400, just small $20 bet on it. Yeah.
Nice. I don't think that's a terrible look at all. Like, that's crazy. That's a good bet. Well, yeah, we have was it the Englewood Rose? Hope I'm saying that right. He says UFC 299 greater than 300. Yeah, dude, it could be like I still think 300 is pretty good, honestly. But yeah, 299 is since we've started my channel, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this is definitely the best card we ever talked about, 100%. I can't believe no fights have gotten canceled. Like the whole card's still together. Like
I know it's nuts, dude. I think 299 I think has better fights, but I think that 300 has the bigger names, the bigger star power, both amazing cards though.
He's Englewood says Gillespie and Gamrot. Dude, is he still like
where is he?
UFC? Yeah, like is he in the UFC still? Like I would be shocked if he retired. But it's funny, your guys' show, Stranglers and Anglers, and he's out there fishing too. He's a big time fisherman.
Oh yeah, he's in our intro, best fisherman in MMA. Yeah, dude.
I think Gamrot was smoking. By the way,
put out a PSA like a Amber Alert for fucking Gregor Gillespie to see if I can get a response on Twitter or anything, but I've never gotten anything. So
fucking yeah, like that's wild. Like where the fuck is this guy? But that would be a sick fight. The grappling exchanges would be crazy in that fight. I'd definitely fucking pick Gamrot in that fight. But yeah, dude, up next we have Caitlin Chikagian, or no, sorry, Sermonara.
Yeah,
new name now. Where's Macy Barber, dude? Macy Barber comes in minus 205, plus 175 on Caitlin. And I'm gonna go with Caitlin. I'm not gonna switch my pick, but I'm just not confident. This is actually my lowest, like probably lowest level confident pick with the whole card. we were talking about before the show started. I had doubted Macy Barber in her last fight, and as the fight's happening, I was like, oh fuck, god damn it, like she's good, like she's improving, like definitely doing the stuff you want to see in her career. But I think that she's gonna have trouble at distance here. I like Caitlin at range, and if Macy Barber gets stuffed and put it on the fence in the clinch, I think that Caitlin's strong enough to reverse and and get the better of those positions. So I think that it's actually closer to minus 205, dude. Like, I wouldn't be betting minus 205 on Barber at this point. But another thing that I really don't like is a 10-year age gap for going for Macy. And then you have the media day thing with Caitlin talking about all that, stuff happening to her with her miscarriages. That's super sad. And you never want to hear anything like that. So, like, I'm rooting for her. I hope she wins. Yeah, so I'm not going to change my pick because of that, but that definitely worries me. I'm not betting this fight. I don't have any action on this fight. Do you have any bets on this fight? And, like, what do you have on, like, any thoughts?
No, yeah, big stay away just because it does feel a little bit wide, and Chikagian just a lot of sad things going on outside her life. I just don't really, what is she has seems like she hasn't been training the last year really. Like she looked good today on the scales and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put your money on her right now, even at the underdog price here. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Barber is like, if she can get to the 5-round fight talk, like we were kind of just talking about this with Gamrot, like if she can get to that 5-round fight conversation, main event or title shot, like I think she's going to be a fucking menace in 5 rounds because she just doesn't stop coming at you. She's tough as hell. But the 3-rounders, they obviously make it a lot tougher. And with someone like Sermonara, so I want to say Chikagian so bad. Someone like Sermonara, like it might take a round or two to be able to find that distance and finally get into range and have some success and make those reads. So yeah, it's a pass for me. If I was to play something in this, I would probably play it more like Barber inside the distance or Barber by KO or something, just because if like Sermonara isn't all there mentally, like I just think Barber is a tough person to have to go against because, like I said, she's relentless and she's looking for a finish. So she's just got that mindset, kill or be killed kind of thing, and I respect that. And I think that when you're not in the right state of mind, that's a tough one to go against.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's another thing. Like I'm doing it a lot lately, where I'm like, I don't know, you got to show me, and then people show me. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have believed in them, but
It's tough. Yeah, that's a tough, it's tough to call though. Sometimes you still want to see one more fight, before you're comfortable at backing them at a certain price.
yeah, dude, it's kind of a good intro for the next fight, dude. Jalton Almeida and Curtis Blades. Right now it's Jalton Almeida looking like he's pushing to a slight favorite here at minus 120. Curtis Blades plus 100. Was a pick him pretty much the whole week. I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, dude, this one's got my fucking mind in a blender for sure. I've been going back and forth on this. I'm not betting it either way. I just sort of feel like the winner is going to look like a big hindsight favorite. Like, the big, the equalizer here is the offensive grappling, right? But what we don't really know anything about either guy is like how good they are off their back. Like we've seen small sample size of Curtis Blades getting taken down, and people have had some success with that. You can't really hold them down or expect to win the fight that way. But Jalton's a different beast, and you think that a guy like Jalton, the BJJ guy, is going to be better off his back than a guy like Curtis Blades, who's the wrestling guy. Yeah, just tough one to pick. At the same time, it's if it stays standing, I think Curtis Blades is the clear side here. I don't know. I don't. Curtis Blades, another guy that he like struggles against guys that have like a nuclear option, right? Like fucking Pavlovich and Ngannou, Derek Lewis. He doesn't really struggle with any other stylistic matchup. At the same time, he hasn't really we haven't seen him against a grappler like Almeida either. So kind of like, we're going to learn a little bit about Blades here, but like what you're saying, we're going to learn a lot about Almeida and what he can really do in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, dude. My thing with this fight is like whoever wins is probably going to look like minus 1,000. Like if Blades doesn't get taken down, like you said, like he's to me clearly the better striker. Like Almeida, all he really does is throw that head kick and then try to dive and take you down. We haven't really seen him have to like strike for like extended minutes of time, and the gas really worries me for Almeida. Like he's taking people down and passing their guard and then looking tired. Like the lack of ground and pound from him is kind of shocking. But I will say, dude, he weighed in way bigger this time than he ever like usually does.
Huge.
So that's a good sign for me. So I'm actually picking Almeida to win the fight. But dude, like I can see a world where Curtis Blades just beats the fuck out of him on the feet and doesn't get taken down. But at the same time, I can see him getting taken down and passed. One of those weird fights where we haven't seen like the really good grappler in Blades like really tested in that area, like especially off his back, man. Like this can get super interesting if Almeida gets him down. I do expect Almeida to get him down. So if I think that happens, I gotta go with Almeida. So I do think he closes the distance, gets him down at range, though, man. It's just such an interesting fight. I wonder how Blades, approaches this. It's funny to hear himself call him the Maraba of the division. I'm like, bro, I'm like, what the hell?
You wish, dude.
I know. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But Rob's killing people these days. It's crazy he weighed in too, man. Did you see that?
I did, man. There's I'm not gonna lie, there's a secret part in me that wanted like Cheeto to miss weight. It seemed like he was struggling there for a bit. I would love to see Marab versus O'Malley. But yeah, it's what it is. I love Marab. I'm all in on Marab. I used to not be, but now I am.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Remember when he jumped in that lake and fucked up his head?
Head first, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy. He used to be a construction worker, and now he's like in the UFC, just killing it.
Yeah, concrete fucking brain, but
dude,
concrete
machine.
hands.
Perfect nickname too for a guy.
Yeah, man. He's a beast. I think he's the best 135er in the world right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting who he fights next.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, up next is a fucking banger, dude. This fight can go either way, in my opinion. Pretty much the whole rest of the card can. Peter Yan taking on Song Yadong. Peter Yan, I'm seeing all the way from minus 125 to minus 140. I'm seeing Song Yadong plus 115. I'm going with Peter Yan in this fight, but it's just tough, man. He's looked really, really bad lately. But in a striking fight, I do think he's the more accurate guy in this fight. Song Yadong, dude, is just one of those guys where I think he has a real big-time strength advantage over a lot of guys he fights. And in that last fight against, or not the last fight, but like in this fight against Sandhagen, like I expected Sandhagen to kind of cruise in that fight. I kind of really doubted Song in that fight, and he really impressed me, man. Kind of sucks how he got, elbowed in the head. But I'm not low on this guy. This is going to be such a close fight. I want to see who initiates the grappling. I think Song's going to be the one to try, but I actually think that Peter's going to have success, dude. I really like the trips from Peter. I think if there's a lot of clinches, he's going to win those clinches. He's a really good Muay Thai guy. He knows he's really smart in those exchanges. And yeah, he's pretty much fighting for his UFC career. So give me Peter Yan. Post USADA to win this fight. He just starts so slow. It's hard to back a guy when I know he's going to drop the first round, 90% of the time. So I probably should just live bet him after he loses the first round. So if he does win that first round, probably going to get a terrible price and probably lost my chance. But I think it goes all three. I think Peter Yan wins the decision, dude. What do you got?
Yeah, dude, you touched on a lot of great points. The one off the bat, I do think Yadong is good. And if he's the age that they say he is, like 26, it's hard to tell sometimes with the Brazilians and the Chinese, like how legit their birth certificates are or whatever. But, it's what it is. If he's legit 26, I mean, this dude's going to be around for a while, man. He's clearly getting better every fight. And I'm glad that you brought up the grappling angle too, because I mean, we saw him, dominate the fight against Chris Gutierrez with that stuff, everything Ricky Simon had to give him in the grappling department. And we've seen with Piotr Yan, like the way you beat Yan, you have to grapple him and get significant control time. Like you're not going to beat Yan just standing up, dude. He's so good. And here, like I expect, like Yadong, I think that they're gonna, they'll feel each other out early. Yadong's gonna throw some big stuff. And when Piotr starts countering and is faster than Yadong, I think Yadong's gonna kind of like start pushing that grappling a little sooner than expected. If he gets Yan down, I think he can have some success with control time. At the same time, like for as much as like he got controlled by Aljamain and as much as he got like taken down and owned by Marab, like he does have good defensive grappling and he does stuff a lot of takedowns. And with that Marab fight, like he was clearly hurt or something. I don't know exactly what, but his leg was clearly bothering him. Yeah. So with that being said, like Yadong high on him, think he's good, bright future, but I like Piotr Yan here. I bet him at minus 125. Just because, like I said, I think he is going to stuff the takedowns. I think that he's going to win most of the boxing exchanges. Sure, Song's probably going to land some powerful shots, some powerful body shots too, because Jan kind of leaves that open with his high guard. But I mean, good luck putting Piotr Jan away. You know what I mean? Merab couldn't do it over 5 rounds when he was on one leg. Also couldn't do it when he had 10 minutes of backpacking. It's like good luck finding a way to put this dude down standing up too, because like O'Malley landed a big shot on him. Jan took it on the chin and landed one right back at him in that second round. You know what I mean? Of their fight. Yeah. He's got that fucking crazy Russian mindset. I love these like battle of the communist clashes, like the Russia-China fights. They're always so fun, dude. I swear it's like a different mindset. Like I haven't been this excited for one since like Slava versus Mahashate, like another just like hilarious stylistic matchup. Yeah, man. But I like Jan here. Obviously, the power and the size and the potential to grapple are all things you worry about with Jan, or with Yadong. But I mean, I think Jan has the tools to negate all those.
Yeah, man. As long as he doesn't get stuck on bottom, or cut, dude. I really think getting cut early in that O'Malley fight cost him a big time. It just looked bad, like he kept leaking. But yeah, man, I'm going Peter Yan too. I think I might get to a bet. Hopefully the line comes down a little bit, but we'll see. Yeah, but I'm liking Peter too.
Yeah, I bet it weeks ago too, and like it's just I thought the line was gonna blow out a little bit. Like I thought Jan would end up minus like 140, 150, honestly, but it kind of moved down the other way. But back today, it's back up to minus 125 ish, minus 130.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Up next, we got a welterweight fight: Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena minus 170, Gilbert Burns plus 145. This line's kind of held steady all week. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this one sort of seems straightforward. I think Burns, unless he nukes Della or gets the fight to the ground with some extended control time, like I think Della's probably going to pick him apart over 3 rounds and just land a lot more volume than Burns. Burns is good. I just never been super high on him. Kind of small at 170. He's been to decision with guys like Chimaev, like he's durable. He's been in some wars, but at the same time, like we've seen him dropped and wobbled by the jab, by shots that you wouldn't think would wobble a guy like Burns. And I just think Della's going to land some really clean shots on him as long as he can, keep the fight standing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, a pretty straightforward fight, like you said, man. As long as Jack doesn't get strangled, like he's probably gonna fuck up Gilbert Burns on the feet, dude. Yeah. It's weird. Gilbert Burns has a lot of things going in his favor. Obviously, the grappling advantage, huge experience advantage, super durable, but at the same time, it's like, dude, he's getting up there in age, 37 years old, and he's coming off a little bit of a layoff. I know it's not that long, 9 months, but he is coming off of surgery, and at that age, I gotta worry what kind of Gilbert Burns we're gonna get. He lost to Bilal Muhammad, where everyone's making a big thing about him being injured, but Bilal was actually injured too. So it's like, dude, that's just one of those things. But I think Maddalena gets him, dude. I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks him out in that second round. But it's kind of crazy watching him jump guillotine against Bazel Hafez so much, where his corner's like telling him not to do it, and he's still doing it. So I actually wonder like how his fight IQ is, man. Like this dude, it's kind of proving to me like he's not the brightest dude. Like that's just so boneheaded of him to do that in that fight. Where I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna do it against Gilbert Burns. He's not that dumb, but if he's just one of those guys where like I'm gonna show you my grappling, I want to like make a point of it. I'm like, oh, like he's gonna get head and arm choked pretty fast. But I think he's gonna knock him out. I think he gets him out of there in that second round.
Yeah, the IQ is a great point and a fair concern. Yeah, but I'm with you. I'm on Della. The two bets I like here on this fight that I would look at, I think Della by decision like plus 380 or plus 350, whatever it's at right now. I don't think that's a bad look. He's had a lot of round 1 finishes in the UFC, but if it leaves round 1, it's going to decision. It seems like when he's fighting. So, I don't mind that just based on the notion of volume over that 3 rounds. But yeah. Oh, and I think Burns by KO plus 1,000. Like, I get like it's probably has to land a lucky haymaker standing, but if the fight does get to the ground and Burns gets control time, I mean, what's stopping him from ground and pounding him?
Yeah, 100%. I love those types of bets because just as easy as the guy gets like put in mount and choked, like they just give up, like or not give up, like they'll shell up and then you just rain on them and get pulled off by the ref. Boom, TKO. Like that's a good angle. Like also like the takedowns, I don't think are gonna come in the open mat for Gilbert Burns. I think they'll come in the clinch along the cage. I think he's really
Sure.
good at toppling guys over and chipping them off balance. And Jack's gonna have to be super smart in defending those body locks, especially when he's on the cage with his back, But yeah, I think he keeps distance and lights him up, dude. I really like the body work of Jack as well.
Yeah.
That should help him as well defending the takedowns. But yeah, dude, that's a banger of a fight. Yeah, I'm going with JDM.
Hell yeah.
Fucking up next, we have MVP Michael Venom Page taking on Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland sitting around minus 130. That's been holding steady all week. Michael Venom Page plus 110. Did I go first or you go first last time?
I don't remember, honestly.
All right, you can go first.
Yeah, cool. I don't have a super strong take on this one. I think Kevin Holland has the skills to like win this fight. And if he can put it in, take it in different directions than MVP can. I just think Kevin Holland is on my no bet list ever again after the Wonder Boy fight. I won't do it. I just can't. And it's the IQ thing that we've been bringing up throughout the pod with some of these fighters. He is like the ultimate guy with a low fight IQ that I just can't trust. I just imagine he's going to be winning this fight until he does something stupid or he's talking with MVP in there and isn't paying attention enough, and gets caught with something. I just think something stupid is going to happen to cost him the fight. So MVP is my pick solely based on it's going to be Holland doing something dumb.
Yeah, dude, that's a good point, man. Like, there are certain, not even just MMA, like, or even other sports, or whether it be hockey, football, whatever. Certain things can happen with a team, and you're like banished. Like, just you're banished for
Yeah,
like
totally.
the rest of the season. Like we're done here. I'll never, bet on you again. And that's a very valid point because that was a fight he could. That was his fight to lose, man. He snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory for no reason, man. He's a guy where you brought up his IQ. Like, how could you not? Where he's not like a guy that wants to strive toward the belt. Like, wants to get in there, win by any means, move on, and then keep it going. Where he's just in there, not in there, just in there, I should say. But he wants to give a show, man. He's more of a showman. And I don't like betting on guys like that. Like, I want guys to go out there and secure the win by any means and move along the rankings. Where, as far as the skill set in the fight, though, I think Kevin Holland's a better fighter. I think he's fought better fighters. And Venom Page is like almost 37 years old. So I don't think Kevin Holland's going to let this dude come in here and beat him and be made, an example of kind of like a stepping stone. I don't think he wants to get used like that. So I actually expect him to try. So that's kind of actually crazy to say about a fighter. But that's how he is, man. Like, because he theoretically should have a grappling advantage in this fight, but it's just he's definitely not going to use it. They're going to talk. They're going to, I actually think that this actually might be boring. I think they might stare a lot at each other. Like, they're more so counter punchers. They rely on guys darting in,
Too much respect maybe or whatever for each other too. Like, there's not any bad blood or anything really,
Yeah, Kevin started to show a little bit at the face off today. But yeah,
I
agree.
He did a little bit. He did, sure.
Like, he was like, he shot him in the head, so I don't know how much.
Yeah, that's fair.
That could mean these days, but yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to think about with Holland. He's like, he's beating Wonder Boy, right? And he like he stands up for whatever just to make it a more exciting fight or fight of the night. It's like, dude, you could just collect your win, get your win bonus, and not fucking worry about the putting on a show thing. It's so dumb. It's crazy.
Like, that's real money he lost, dude. Like, for no reason. And then crazy. But yeah, man, I'm going Kevin Holland. You're going MVP. Now it's time for the co-main event, dude. Dustin Poirier taking on BSD, Bernard Saint Denis. Line is actually kind of closing a little bit. Minus 220 for BSD. Poirier plus 175. I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, man, I like BSD here. I got in at an early price. I was talking earlier. I had him parlay with Gamrot pretty early. I got I think him at minus 135, minus 140, something like that. But at this number, it's a little scary, especially when you're talking about Dustin Poirier over 5 rounds, like a guy who's proven he can do it, who's been there time and time again, backing this Saint Denis, who really doesn't have a whole lot of UFC experience, especially not this level of competition. At minus 230, I'm seeing it at some books now. Yeah, it's scary. At the same time, dude, I think, BSD 5 rounds. Honestly, I feel like it favors BSD because I think he's he's huge, dude. And I think he has a huge grappling edge here. And we've really seen that's been Poirier's weakness, right? When he has to take on these guys with grappling edges against him. Anything from Jim Miller to Khabib to Oliveira, we've seen that struggle. Michael Chandler had a lot of success. You know what I mean? It's just it's one of those things. And I think BSD probably eats some big shots early. Poirier maybe looks good for a round or so, but I think eventually, like, BSD is just going to walk him down, walk through those punches, get the fight to the ground, and rinse and repeat, and just keep doing that until he makes Poirier quit. I think BSD is going to sub him. I don't got a bet because it's only like plus 165 or something like that, but I just think that it's his time, and I think he's a special talent, mixed with the fact that it's just a bad matchup for Dustin. Yeah, what do you think, man?
Yeah, dude. It's funny, man. If it weren't for that, I don't even know if I'm call it fake, but if it wasn't for that staff thing going on his forehead, I would be like laying it huge on BSD in this fight. I think he finishes Poirier, man. I agree. I think he subs him in that second round. Man, I like BSD a lot in this fight. Poirier, dude, for as much as like I want to view him as like a pretty clinical boxer and clean striker, he actually gets clipped a lot, dude. Like his striking defense isn't the best, and Saint Denis is gonna walk him down. He's gonna walk him forward. Poirier obviously really good counter puncher, really good counter hooks. That check left hook he has, but dude, the grappling advantage is severe here. I think Saint Denis has another big advantage in the strength, dude. I think he's super strong.
Oh yeah,
Dude. I think a good example is like him and Dricus. They just have like dense bones, bro. Like he'll touch you and then just straight jabs, and like people will react terribly.
yeah,
And the way he's reversing positions on guys on bottom, and we know he's super durable because he almost died in the cage. That one ref wanted to see like a dead body.
crazy.
Yeah. So and he was like throwing back. that was crazy. But yeah, dude, Poirier, 37 years old, or I don't even know he's 37. He might be like 35. He's getting up there, almost 36. And I don't know, man. Like I don't know how much he has, like much motivation here to like. What's he like really fighting for,
And
man? He's paid. He's made so much money as a kid, new house, like
he's
uh,
talking retirement and stuff kind of too,
it is.
like it's
Yeah.
another one of those things you never want to hear from a fighter you want to put money on.
And for as much as like, oh, he has so much experience and he's like a legend, like dude, the line's holding steady, and Saint Denis,
Yeah,
the favorite. Like, I agree, dude. I think he finishes him, dude. Like, I think that might be one of my only spots, like him, like inside the distance or something. But
sure.
yeah,
I'll say this too, just because it was a good point. You mentioned the fight against Eliza Zaleski dos Santos at 170, where he like that fight could have been stopped at any point, where he got his ass kicked. Like that was on short notice, and that was up at 170.
mhm.
BSC is going to be a lot bigger in the cage than Dustin. Dustin used to fight at 145. You mentioned like we've seen that chin is like a little questionable. Like it's certainly better up at 55, but the dude's been in so many fucking wars now, and BSD is just such a force. It feels like it's like the other way this time now. It's like where Eliza Zaleski was a 170er taking on a true 155er. It's like BSD is more of like a true 155er taking on a former 145er. So it's just, I don't think it bodes well for Dustin, man. I think like if you're gonna play Dustin, do the crazy late prop
Yeah.
sprinkles, like the late round, 3, 4, 5, something. I'm sure those are huge numbers.
Like as long as BSD doesn't get tired from beating his ass, he should be
Yeah,
good, dude.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
if you can't put him away, like that'd be a problem. But I think he does, man. I'm pretty confident Poirier is getting finished tomorrow, dude. It's crazy.
yeah.
Wild. But now it's time for the main event, dude. Title fight time. Bantamweight title fight on the line. Sugar Sean O'Malley taking on Cheeto Vera. Marlon Cheeto Vera. The line currently sits minus 270 for Sean O'Malley, plus 215 for Marlon Vera. I think the fight's going to be closer than the line indicates. I think that Marlon Vera has a really live chance to end this fight in 3-4-5. I think that, he's probably going to drop, not probably, he's most likely going to drop that first round. And that's what sucks like about betting him or thinking about betting him, because I would just probably have to live bet him after he drops that first round. I don't think O'Malley is going to knock him out, man. I don't think he's going to put him away. I'm actually going with the underdog. I'm going with Cheeto Vera in this fight. And I think he finishes O'Malley late, dude. I question his durability. The Sandhagen fight for Cheeto is absolutely a terrible look. Sean O'Malley has really good front kicks, really good teeps, and I really think he's going to use those in this fight. And I don't know. Have you heard about this? What Aljo said about Cheeto having a bad camp?
I did, yeah. And then he, kind of had a sketchy a weight cut today. It was a close call. They had to break out the Khabib box,
And
for the
then
weigh-ins for him to make weight.
Marab's flying in on like 4 days from Vegas,
Exactly.
making weight, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Do they know something? Is he injured?
Yeah. It makes you
That's
think for sure, man.
yeah, that was a little weird, but I'm still going with Cheeto Vera. Yeah, man, who you got?
Yeah, I'm torn on this one too. I played Cheeto late, just out of principle, right? Like just on him being a guy that is like built for 5 rounds versus O'Malley, who like has never gone that 5, and also is like shown to be a little bit fragile. Has had some weird finishes to fights. But with that said, yeah, I mean, I'm worried about all the things I'm hearing, I guess. But I do think the money line is a little wide. I'm definitely thinking about playing it still. I think it'll get a little wider by the time like the fight comes. I think this line's still gonna get bigger. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just yeah, man, it's tough. Like O'Malley. The Sandhagen fight is such a different matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
O'Malley's not going to grapple at all here. And like you said, with like the thing with Cheeto is it's tough. Like you said, I got backing a guy who is probably going to lose round 1 and 2 at a really high clip. The difference is that it's a 5-round fight, I guess, and it's like the difference where it feels better. I feel better about betting like Peter Yan against Song is that Song is also a guy who's probably going to drop round 1. To most people, he's kind of a slow starter himself. O'Malley, I kind of expect to get busy right away. Even if he's feeling out, he's just going to be touching Cheeto. He just got such a long frame. He's going to be able to pitter patter him for a bit. Yeah, it's tough. I'm torn. I'm going to go with Cheeto too. I haven't gotten around to like a money line bet on it.
yeah. I think I feel like if he does go out and win that first round, that would be horrible for our betting theory here. But
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. I agree with you. I think Sean's gonna be touching him up, dude. His range is so crazy. Like I remember when he knocked out Aljo, just thinking like, okay, I'm done downing him. Like he's for real. Like he's a real problem. He's hard to deal with, dude. He's huge. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
like muscular or anything, but he's just so tall and long for the division with good speed, man. And he's super accurate. So
He's fucking good, dude. He really
yeah, like
is.
he
He's
really is a
good.
truth. Like for as much as like people don't want like he's like respect him, like kind of reminds me of Colby Covington back when Colby was good.
Sure.
Like he's legit, man, and it's gonna be such a good fight. I wonder how the mental is gonna play with like obviously him losing before, but yeah, man, I'm going with Cheeto. So
Yeah, hell yeah. And yeah, it's Cheeto, I think if you're being objective too, I think he's had a really fortunate run to the title. And I think that it's kind of crazy that he's fighting for a title now before Sandhagen is
yeah,
after that beatdown. But yeah, man, Cheeto, like we say it all the time in MMA, styles make fights, and this is actually a pretty interesting stylistic matchup for someone that a lot of people don't think should be in the title spot in the first place. I think it's gonna be a really good fight, really close.
I know. I'm super excited. And if it goes to decision, O'Malley via decision isn't a terrible look. I actually wouldn't be surprised. Like this is super specific but like for round 3 to be the swing round, like O'Malley 1-2, pretty clear, 3 close, 4-5 Cheeto. But I mean,
Sure, yeah.
you know, yeah,
Yeah, especially as O'Malley deals with that 5 rounds, we don't he maybe starts panicking that 3rd round being like, "Oh shit, I'm tired or more tired than I thought I was gonna be."
yeah, and another like he could get tired from beating up Cheeto. Cheeto just doesn't go away.
Yeah,
Homer Simpson,
exactly.
never
Cheeto's
been knocked
durable as
down,
fuck.
never been finished. Exactly, dude. Dan, dude, we're coming up almost perfectly on an hour. So thanks for coming on, bro. Let the people know where they can find you, and let me know your bets that you currently have. Wrap it like to recap so far.
Yeah, sure, man. Dude, thank you for having me, Effie. I appreciate it, man. We'll definitely catch some fights and burn another one in person soon.
Yeah,
You can get me on Twitter at the Fist MMA. On not super active on there, but on Instagram, we got a page called Stranglers and Anglers. That's where you can find all our podcast info. We're on YouTube for that as well. Me and my co-host James, good dude, really knows a lot about the technical side of MMA. So he's a great companion to have. All right, man, wrapping up my bets. I got Piotr Yan at -125 to win 1 unit. I got about 6.5, a little over units on Gamrot in a parlay as the last leg right now. I have BSD and Gamrot parlay too as the last 2 legs for a couple other ones. I have Jack Della Maddalena wins by decision at +350. And I got Vera to win in round 4 +2,200, round 5 +2,500. And I think I'm just missing Gamrot round 3 +1,400.
Dude, solid card, man. I like all those bets. Damn,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, those are looking nice, especially those. I like how you parlayed those Gamrot tickets. That's dope.
Yeah, we've been talking about it on the pod for the last like 2 months about it. Just like we thought that line was gonna blow out, and it kind of has. So we've just been adding to it. Yeah, man, excited for these fights, and yeah, thanks again for having me, dude.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Anytime, we gotta do this more often. So yeah, man, I think you're gonna talk me into maybe a couple bets. I will say, man, before the show we started, we mentioned the Coyotes and Red Wings over. It's 2-0 in the first period. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
So make sure you guys hit up the homies. Stranglers and Anglers are out every single week, doing great stuff. So yeah, man, good luck on your bets, guys, and good luck on the fights, man. Peace.
Yeah, see you guys.